Psychic Tuesday, and boy, I couldn't be more happy about it. We finally made it, and here we are together collectively, sending love and light to all. Let's begin. Let's start with, we're going to start with just messages at the top, and then I'm going to kind of go deeper into a few readings. You can find me, BerniceBissonPsychic.com. And so let's start with Sun, Moon, or Rising, Aries. Message for Aries this week. We have a full moon and in Scorpio, which is death and transformation, and looking at our shadow side and looking at our divine feminine, looking at our emotional side, intense emotions, certainly for everyone. And in square to Pluto, Mercury, and then the sun's got to get in there because, you know, the sun, it's kind of pushy and a bit egotistical, but there it is. And so this square is really forcing us to look at some of our shadow side. And before I get into all of them, I do have a mantra because it is the full moon. And the mantra, a small prayer to Creator, and always give glory to Spirit. My grief and pain are mine. I have earned them. They are part of me. Only in feeling them do I open myself to the lesson they can teach, and healing begins. So it be, so it be, so it be done. And the mantra for the full moon. And the message for Aries this week: assert yourself. Opportunities are abounding for you, Aries. There's going to be, particularly in work, and maybe opportunities to shore up your money or your financial situation and agreements. Go for what you want. The time is ripe. And you're going to be making all kinds of deep connections with people, and that they could bring prosperity, opportunities, work, employment, those types of things for you in the future. So some good stuff there. Okay, and then we've got our little Tauruses. Hang in there, Tauruses. This is a time for planning. This is a time for putting your summer together, starting to get, what I need to do for spring cleaning, what I need to do for my summer plans. Do I need to book the campsites? Do I need to get tickets to those things? And so now's the time to do that and lay the foundations. You could even be talking about wills, estates, property, assets, loans, financing, reorganizing, sorting yourselves, and getting things sort of in order and knowing where your security lay. And that's going to benefit you guys so much over the next 10 days even. And then I got Geminis. Commitments to yourself, mainly Gemini. Stop making commitments to everyone else. Stop running around and trying to people please or do everything for everyone. This is a time for you to make commitments to your health, your well-being, your own agenda, things that maybe you've been wanting to put first and foremost. And now's the time to do that. And you might just get the commitments you need from other people. There could be people lining up to say, I need to work with that Gemini. I need to be that Gemini. Could be a Pisces or two showing up around some of that. All right, and then I've got my little Cancerians. Yes, my little crabs. Hang in there, you guys. This is going to be a time, even in the next 10 days or so, about really getting kudos. Maybe there's going to be a lot you can be proud of. Maybe you're going to hear news about graduations, something proud with your kid, something that at work you get a good tap on the shoulder, or a customer or client is like, I just love working with you. And so I think there's really positive work outcomes. There's really positive outcomes. Literally, I don't want to just say the word work. I want to say the efforts and endeavors that you've put your energy into, Cancerians. That could be a passion. That could be a creative endeavor. That could be a passionate piece about your job you really love. That could be something where you're getting kudos, and there's some really positive work outcomes that maybe it has more impact than you actually realized. And so, and that your impact in your work environment, or maybe there's changes in the industry that also creates impact for you as well, and kudos to your reputation. Leos, oh, my lovely little Leos. Now's the time, and over the next 10 days, there's something very much about partners, partnerships, plans around them, things that are going to show up that you guys could be doing that together. It could be having to sort something out with a partner, having to take on the in-laws for them, having to help them stand on their own, having to sort of be behind the scenes and prop or lift one of your buddies up, something about that for you, Leos. And you're like, when's it my time? When's it my time? Well, I say go book some spa time, Leo. A little kitty cat needs a good grooming, and I just feel like Go go book some spa time. Really buy the new dress. We're almost out of Mercury retrograde or the new suit there, Leo. And I feel like there could be some exciting experiences coming around travel or little propositions certainly showing up for you over the summer. Go visit those friends. All right. Then I go to Virgos, and Virgos, lucky little Virgos, just don't be smug about it. Just kidding. Maybe you're escaping this full moon in some ways, but in others, you're going to have to pay attention. And, you could have a sudden change of luck, and this could be in your networks, your social networks, people that you've impacted in the past, and they could be coming back and saying, hey, Virgo, that was really great what you did for me. I've got these free tickets, or I've got this opportunity, or, here's a gift certificate from, just for helping out. And so there's something about that for you too, Virgos. And the other piece for Virgos is this next 10 days. Remember, energy is going to be really intense. And so this would be a good time to mind your own business. This would be a good time to not poke any sticks at bears or antagonize people. No road rage. No, just stay tame out there, Virgos, because I feel like you're going to be just kind of going about your business, just being Virgo, and there could be intense people out there. So keep that in mind. Okay, then I've got my lovely little Libras. Libra, boy, you've made it through these eclipses. You had the south node of karma really haunting you in your house of commitments and partnerships. And, that includes wills, estates, inheritances, and merging even with partners, properties, maybe moving in or out of a partner and a property, and or maybe having to take care of transactions on behalf of others like family, and working out wills, estates, insurance claims, moves, those types of things going on for you. And then the other piece is, if you're a parent, really being proud of your kids, really having some shining moments there around the kids, or a kid, and something, and that can include a niece or nephew, but a young person and young people. There's lots shining around you, Libra. Scorpio, wow, this full moon is all about you. And if you're an early Scorpio, maybe you get to close some karma with past partners. Maybe you get to close old wounds that you've carried for a long time, and this depth of transformation, and the transformation for yourself is about how you'll proceed in the future, and how you'll want to be treated, reciprocity in relationships, how you expect to be treated, romance, partnerships. Your fifth house is lit up like a green light. Your third and ninth houses are lit up like green lights, meaning that pay attention to your own health, your own wealth, make plans for yourself, put yourself as a priority, cry if you need to cry, because if you hang on to those tears, you'll drown. And you could really be there for a few people around you, and really coming to a place of really appreciating life, and really appreciating things you have, and really come to a strong place of gratitude. And maybe you're like, I'm so grateful for what I've been through, and I'll never do that again. So that was maybe part of the lesson, because 6 months ago, that was the bomb where it dropped for you. And now this is 6 months later, check-in point, and you're like, yeah, closing the door. Good idea. Sagittarius, boy, this is going to be a time of friends and getting out there and reconnecting with your neighborhood, your community. That could be like joining a league. That could be like getting to go to galas, or, neighborhood graduations, or getting to get out there. And this next 10 days, even like it could be a barbecue, it could be stuff like that that's showing up around you, and anything in society. But you could also at some point really feel heavy with society, and maybe you're trying to avoid it. And so that'd be a good time to make your camping plans, maybe getting away, living off the grid a little bit. But you're really just maybe craving some home time to repair home, work on home, do the gardening, get the yard prepared, get spring up and running for yourself. Capricorns, and this is a time for Capricorn where I'm going to say love's in the air. Love's going to be brewing around you now until that time of Cancer, and even into June. And you could be having some really And or maybe just that, yeah, you could be loved. It could be that people are coming out of the woodwork and they're like, "Oh, you smell good, you look good, your things are going looking like you're doing good out there," and that you could have a new romance. You can have things that you new things you're falling in love with, new hobbies, new places to travel, new things that bring you real pleasure, and that's going to be a real focus for you, Capricorns, over the next 10 days. Is things that bring you pleasure, things that bring you happiness, things that bring you to a place of peace. And also people who love you coming out of the woodwork, and you might not even have realized some of these people that like it, love or adore you or want to copy you, or could could envy you a little bit. And so love to you anyway. Spread that stuff around. There's such a shortage of it. Aquarius. Oh, my little Aquarians. Pluto's in your sign, and you're kind of showing off with your with Taurus and some of the energy in Taurus, which is where your other ruling planet is. Watch for the signs. You could be getting letters, correspondence, emails, social media contacts, things coming out that's really solidifying up any confusion. You can get finally an answer to something. You can get a yes or no. You can get something that where you're feeling there's some definitive plans coming around you. If you've been waiting for that answer, you could get the date set. It could be that you get some sort of finale around or more details. And you're really appreciative of that, because I feel like you might have been feeling a bit on hold or living in limbo until some details came forward. And this next 10 days, even the next 3 months, there's lots of details really helping solidify for you some maybe changes to your health and where you live, maybe changes to long-term plans, long-term goals, career goals, education goals. And then Pisces, I got to finish with Pisces. And Pisces, this is all about falling in love with yourself. This is all about buying yourself flowers. This is all about treating yourself well, putting yourself first, having boundaries with people who might be stepping all over you, and you're like, I can't do that anymore. So I feel like this is where you're going to show yourself self-love, self-appreciation, putting yourself first, expressing yourself, being able to and really looking for intimacy, passion, sexuality, sex, looking to deepen your love life, looking to deepen your intimate life. And I feel like you could even explore kind of new and unusual things. You could explore things that you haven't tried before, or you could even find a partner who loves to explore things with you, which is even more fun. But it feels like this is a time of real opening for you in your intimate world, and and I feel like there's a strong link to that spiritual connection for you as well. And so it's some really lovely, lovely energy. Okay, well, let's get into some readings, and I've got Linda, and Linda's joining me from Jackson, Michigan. Hello, Linda.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm actually super duper, but I want to get to how you are. And um, my name is Bernice Bisson, and I'm here to read for you. And where would you like me to begin? What can I help you with today?
Uh, I guess what's going on and what
Okay.
is going to be going on.
Okay, we want to look at a kind of what the world's about for you. The first message is I just want to say is I'm supposed to talk about like a mother-daughter. That can include a daughter-in-law figure or a younger woman, worries about healthcare for someone or changes around work or direction. There's anxiety for this young woman right around you. And I just feel like, don't worry, don't worry. And that, Linda, don't worry. And that, I don't know, there's like this old dad, like the old lion, like the old lion. I just kind of had that in my mind. And that there could be changes around the women around you, and you having to facilitate that for them, having to maybe walk through that with them. And that for you and yourself, there was also just something that you're going to really do some sort of work or therapy on your hip, knee, leg, foot, like your mobility in some way that's going to come up for you that I feel like can come through therapies and the like. I do think you're going to, in the next, let's say, 8 months and into the fall, I do feel like you're going to wind up making some plans to travel. And there's going to be a couple of trips, something that feels shorter to me, and it could be more south than where you live now. And then you're going to need your passport because I feel like there's something where you're going to travel with passport. And you could even be thinking about, I feel like it's at least a 9 or 10 hour flight. So there's something about a longer flight coming, and I would even imagine you would know within the next 12 months about that. The other
Fantastic.
piece, oh, I'm sorry, say that again.
Oh, I said fantastic.
Well, and it does feel like good travel, and I don't think it's because you have to hurry to someone's bedside. The other piece that shows up around you is I'm going to just go back to, you might be needed places. People might be asking you to come and cover, come and help out, come and be there for them. And I feel like there's some good news brewing around you with younger family. And I just feel like the birth of a baby girl. And if she wasn't recently born, I feel, Linda, that she's sort of popping up somewhere around you, that it feels like a breath of fresh air or new life and things. I feel
Okay,
like
I've
this is
got
going to be,
two great granddaughters that I don't get to see, but
well, let's
does
talk
that have
about it.
anything to do with it?
Well, that very much could be. That could very much be the young. Um, if we if you don't mind, I would like to talk a bit about family. And if I may, I want to say this. I feel like you just want happiness and you just want peace, and you might feel a bit tired of being maybe the focus of people's anger, maybe the
Yes.
focus of, or the blame of people's anger. And because deep down inside, you might have had to say a few difficult pieces of truth, no one wants to hear. And it's unfortunate because it was for their own good. And spirit keeps telling me I know we lose a lot of people, Linda, in our lives. And but there's a woman who passed who's like a sister figure. She's lovely. I don't know, she's this lovely, funny energy. And you've been really down and things have not felt so great. And I just want to say to you that um, there's unexpected communication coming out, and it's going to be coming out certainly in the next, few months. I feel like the effort of the communication, because although there might be a bit of a breakdown in spots in your family, there's other places where, I feel like it's the opposite, where they're banging on your door for needs. They need this, they need that, they need you for things. And so that could feel a bit where you might be putting in some pretty tight boundaries there. I do want to talk
Okay.
about, back to you for a minute. So anyway, back to you. Um, there is something very much about, when I go back to communications coming forward, there is something about money, money coming forward, money being paid out, money that's going to come. And, I feel like it could be a split of money or something that comes through a process. And I do think by May, the end of May, there could even be correspondence about it coming forward. And you're really wanting to hang on to some of this money. It's like you're going to want to hang on to it. You're going to want to really be mindful about how you're spending it. It's not going to be frivolous things. So I feel like part of your worry, or part of what might be in your mind, Linda, is you might be thinking long term. You could be thinking, oh, I don't want to be a bag lady when I'm old, or I don't want to, you know,
Right.
uh, I don't want to be in a difficult position. But there is some sort of split with money. And I don't know, there's a man you're going to have a discussion with. I feel like it's going to show up around this money. It's going to show up in the next 3 months or so around the process of this. And I do think that there could be some bigger conversations. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And thank you
Uh,
for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Take care, my girl. We'll talk again. All righty. And so you can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. I read full time, and that's all I do. And I do put out videos on my own Facebook and page, and I do have a podcast you can find through any places you find podcasts of previous readings. Now I've got another reader and another caller, and I missed the name completely because I was busy tapping. Robin.
Yes, it's Robin.
Hello, Robin. Thank you. That just it just right out there, just like amazing. And so, Robin, my name is Bernice Bisson, and I'm here to read for you. And maybe I've got a few minutes, so I fit as much as I can in. And I guess where can I be really helpful to you right now?
I guess it's more on the fact of I feel a shift changing. I'm ready to get out of my current career. I'm kind of over it and ready. Basically, I'd love to retire, but naturally that scenario isn't in the cards, so to speak, right now. So I guess I'm trying to
Want a
figure
job
out
that
next
feels
steps.
like you can retire in it.
Pardon me?
You want a job or something that you feel you can retire in. You want a pathway that you feel you can do happily for the next few years, is what you're saying.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well let's just start with if you don't mind me asking, what is the day and month of your birthday, Robin?
September 19th.
Okay, wow. I love this. So let's explore your birthday, because I always go back to a person's natal chart when I look at life path journeys. And I'm not surprised you're at a shift, and that you feel the shift, and you would feel it in your solar plexus, in your guts. And it could be even manifesting physically in your stomach area, your guts. The change and the shift for you, I really feel it's going to speed up starting your birthday and going forward. And this is why I say this. Starting your birthday, you have the South Node of Karma showing up in your sign with 6 eclipses, which are going to be super powerful, transformative eclipses, because across from you is where all the other eclipses wind up, and that's in Pisces. So if I bring your attention to your birthday, and then again in early February to early March is going to be another set of eclipses. And so you'll have a 6-month period starting your birthday to really jump into your new direction and start sorting out that pathway. And for when I look at your birthday of 9/19, anywhere where you can help people figure out a pathway where you feel in service to, where it's valued service, and any work you can do where you help people figure something out, figure out a mortgage, figure out a place, figure out a pathway, figure out solutions to their problems, anywhere where you can really be in service, where it's valued. Because I feel like maybe part of what you've had enough of is that you don't feel like what you're doing is valued, and you don't feel like it has sort of the meaning that Virgos typically look for. Now, if I look at all of these planets in Pisces, which is exactly opposite of you in Pisces, and we've got a plethora of planets going to gather there in February into March. That whole 7th house is going to be lit up like once in a lifetime kind of light ups, going for the next 2 years. So starting even this fall in your birthday, and the next 2 years is when the change will happen, whether you want it to or not. Because what happens for Virgos is, when their mind has been ruminating and ruminating, they lose sleep, their stomach starts to bother them, all these stuff around their health. And then they start to get angry, or they start to be frustrated and feeling stuck. And then what happens is they wind up just blowing it up. And I don't think you need to blow nothing up. I feel, and I meant that all with love, of course, Virgo, because I love you guys. And so, but because I'm a Virgo rising, so I can be like that too. And so being in service is really some keys. And if I look at your birthday, 9/19, 9/19, 9 in tarot is the Hermit. One is the shaman, the magician. And the shaman magician, the one, is your ability to use all your skills, resources, and tools and draw upon all those experiences and manage, organize, sort, make like I don't have to tell you how to do your job. You kind of already know when you go in how to do things. That's that one. The nines are about the psychology of people, not people pleasing and not a customer service job where you're getting yelled at all the time. Nobody wants that kind of stuff. Sorry, customer service
Right.
people. I feel for you, hard jobs. But anything where you can physically, mentally be stimulated, because you need both physical stimulation and mental stimulation, and you need to be in service and be able to organize, and you need to be able to deal with what I call like true players, like fair players, in fairness of, in fair game, because that those nines are the psychology of people. If you're in a toxic work environment, that is the worst. I would rather make $3 an hour than work in a toxic work environment all day, because it will bring you down. And so the big change for you is this. I feel like when you talk about a career change, I feel like take things you already know. You've done different roles in the work you've done. And I think you have a natural skill set that you don't need to relearn. But I feel like you're going to evolve into an industry that makes more sense for you. Like, for instance, I have a business degree and I worked in places that I found really challenging to my belief systems. And I was able to make a change. I became just an entrepreneur and applied all of my skills and knowledge to being an entrepreneur. And so for yourself, because you're always in service, you always work hard. I don't have to tell you how to do your job. You already come with a whole plethora of knowledge. You don't really want to go back to school because you're like, that feels like a lot.
Right.
I would do a certification or a licensing, but I feel like you have enough skills, knowledge, and experience where I want you to look at industries that excite you, industries you feel ethically that you can serve, where you're not working with a bullying environment, or you're not working with people that you don't agree ethically with in the first place. And so that would be a big piece for you. And I feel like I would even get a recruiter and who in an industry that you feel that you can apply your skills to. So if you have administrative skills and you're like, I administratively want to help people, brush up that resume administratively and go to the industries that excite you. So for instance, if I weren't a psychic, I'd be a barista because I love it. I love coffee shops. So what can I say? But my point for you is find the industry that excites you, Virgo. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you. And
Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in. And if I just leave you with the industries that might, anything where you can have hospitality, anything where you can see people happy and satisfied with the service is where I feel you would do the best. And just based on your birthday. Okay? Okay. And thank you for tuning in to Psychic Tuesday. You can catch my video I just posted there, a collective reading for the week. I will see everyone in 7 days.